Hello children of class 12 cbse computer science with Python. Welcome to TechBox 247. Hope all are doing good and preparing well for your board examinations. In this video, we are going to learn some important and basic concepts to build a Python programming. Okay, so this video will be useful for the beginners who are eager to learn the Python programming at the starters. And this will be very useful for the class 11 and 12 children also while they are revising for their examinations. Okay, so it covers the Python revision tool 1 and Python revision tool 2, so which encompasses both the 11th and 12th computer science syllabus. So let us move on to the video quickly. So in the contents today, we are going to learn the topics like the bare bones of the Python program. So bare bones means it is basic structure. So we can say bare bones of the Python programming. That means basic structure of the Python program. Okay. So the basic structure, it refers to minimum amount of code which is required to build a Python script. Okay. So it refers to minimum amount of code required to build a Python script. Python script, or you can write as Python program. Okay. So the basic structure refers to minimum number of code which is required to build a Python program. So we can say what are all the basic components and how we can use those components. Okay, let us see on the next slide. So bare bones of the Python programming, it has various components. So we are having 5 total components. The first one is expressions, then statements, comments, functions, blocks and indentation. So let us see all those things line by line. So we are having the bare bones as 5 various components, which is the minimum requirement to build a Python programming very easily. Okay, let us see the basic Python program, how this Python program will be looking in a simple way. So the first 2 lines which is here is hashtag. The hashtag is nothing but the comments. Okay, so whatever the sentence or whatever the statements which is starting with this hashtag, then it is called as the comments. Okay, when coming to programming parts, so whenever we are writing the statements by using this hashtag, then it is called as the comments, and which will be not affecting our program. Okay, so this can be used for our understanding purpose while we are reading or learning the programming. Okay, so single line comments means whenever the comments are in the single line, separate single lines, then it is called as a single line comments. So we can see the multi-line comments also. When the comment is continued to the next line, then it is called as a multi-line comments. Okay. The next here it is the statements. See the statements, the simple line with any function is called as a statement in Python. So here the print function is given here. This is the basic structure of the program. So we are asking us to print this print function as what? This basic structure of the program. So simply we can call this as a statement. Okay, programming statement here. And here we have assigned A is equal to 30 and B is equal to 40. And we are calculating that C is equal to A plus B divided by 2. That means this is called as an expression in the statement. Okay, so we can call this as an expression. And the function, see here, def sum, then this denotes the function. So this def is a user defined keyword. So whenever we are writing the user defined programs, we use the keyword called def. And we will learn this user defined programming parts in the upcoming classes. Okay, So next line we are having print a plus b. So once we have written this def sum colon, okay, under this function, this line is called as a function header. So in this function header, the next line which is continuing to this function header should be indented. So the indentation means it is nothing but the space which is left, okay, which is left for the next lines. So the indentation is very important when coming to the Python programming or any other programming languages. So you should follow the indentation rules, otherwise the error might occur. Then let us move on to the next slide. So let us see the first part of the barebone of the Python, that is your expressions. So expressions play a vital role. So let us see what is expressions. So legal combination of symbols representing values or evaluation. So we are having the symbols and which is representing the values or evaluation. So we are combining the symbols, that means the operators, addition, subtraction, plus, minus, star, division. So we are using the mathematical operators along with the values to evaluate certain expressions. So it is a combination of different variables. So we are using the variables also and operators like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, etc., and a constant which is always evaluated to the value. So once the expressions are evaluated, so it should be what? It should evaluate the value. Evaluate the value. So the value is nothing but a value is a standalone variable. So we can call this value as a standalone variable, and it is also considered as an expression. So see here, we have assigned a is equal to 6. We have declared a is equal to 6 and b is equal to 3.15. So this is nothing but an expression. Okay, you can see the example for some more expressions. 70. If we are defining a is equal to 70 now, then it is also called as an expression only. Okay. Then 5.7 plus 7.9. So we are adding these two floating point numbers. So this also comes under the expression. We can write the variable also, and variable is added with a value also. Okay. Then if we uses this type of operations line by line, so it works according to the precedences of the operators. Then if we are concatenating the two strings, it comes to an expression. Then if we are calculating by using those expression and store that in one particular variable, this also comes under the expression. So these are the simple examples for the expressions. Hope you all understand. Let us move on to the next slide. So let us evaluate this simple expression here. So first you should evaluate according to the operator's precedences. Okay. Operator precedences. So I have provided some separate video for precedence of an operator. Okay, you can look upon the video, and I will be giving the link for that operator precedences, how to operate on the operator precedences in the description link below. So you can go and watch that video. Okay, so let us evaluate this expression now. So the first precedence will be going to the parenthesis. Okay, so the operator precedences in Python is working under the PEMDAS rule. Okay, so it is following what rule? PEMDAS rule. PEMDAS. So the first one is the parenthesis. So first of all, you should remove this parenthesis. So we are having 23 minus 30 inside the parenthesis. So we are going to calculate that in the first preference. So what is 23 minus 13? Which is 10, right? So 23 minus 13, which gives you 10. Subtract it. And for the next preferences, it is going to what? It is moving on to the exponentiation operator, but we are not having any exponentiation. Okay, the next is what? Modular division operators. The next precedence is going for the modular division. So 89 modulus 8, which is 1. So it gives you the remainder. So 89 divided by 8. 11 8s are 88 and 1 is your remainder. So that is your answer. And next precedence is going to star 2 star 3, which is 6. And then we are having the addition operator and subtraction operator. So it is working from left to right precedences. So 56 plus 10, which is 66, and which is added up with that 1, which gives you 67, and it is going to subtracted with minus 6, which gives you 61. Hope you all understand this evaluation process, how this expression is getting evaluated line by line. Okay. So the next topic is statements. So statements is nothing but any instruction which is given here in the programming language. So we can read this point. To perform any action in our code, that is called as a statements. So statements are called what? To perform any action in our code. That means simply we can say it as a instructions. Okay, so it is the unit of code that the Python interpreter can execute. So statements are nothing but it is the unit of code in which this interpreter is getting executed. So line by line, each and every programming lines are called as a statements. Okay, so see here, to invoke the print function. How to invoke the print function? So first of all, we are going to perform some action. By using this print function, we are giving the statements which is going to get printed as the output. So basically the print function which is used to give us the output. So which produces the output in the output section. So let us see the next example in statements. If you are writing name is equal to Python, so name is nothing but the variable. Name is equal to Python is the simple statement in Python. So we are given as equal to. So it is mentioned as equal to, that means it is an assignment statement. Okay, so it uses the assignment operator. So we are assigning the value, string value, to the variable name. Okay, so the next statement is the input statement. That means x is equal to int of input of enter the number. So it means that it is the input statement in which the user is giving the input, okay, to the computer. The next is your output statement. We can give this for a print function. So print name equal to, okay, you can give the colon here. So likewise we can use the statements in our Python. So the next one is comments. So the comments are very important. So if you are not understanding the program, if it is the hardest program to understand now, for each and every line you can write the comments. So what this statement will do and what is the purpose of this statement by using the comments. So the comments will not affect the programming execution. So written on the source code but does not affect the output. Okay, so we while we are writing the source code means the program, the Python program. So while we are writing the Python program itself, we can add up the comments. Okay, it will not affect our output part. So these are the statements ignored by the Python interpreter during the execution. So whenever we are providing this hash symbol and writing the comments after that hash symbol, so this Python interpreter, it will ignore this statement, okay, during the execution time. So it is used to add a remark or a note in the source code. So we can use this as a remark or for notes for our understanding purpose in the source code itself. Okay, so it starts with hash sign in the Python. So we know it already. So we are having single line comments, multi-line comments and inline comments. So I have already told you single line comments means the comment which is having only one lines, and multi-lines means if the comments is continuing for more than one line, okay, within the quotation marks, then it is called as a multi-line comment. And the next one is your inline comment. So the inline comment means which is on the same line of the programming statement.
The next concept we are going to cover is the functions. It is one of the bare bones of the Python. So functions play an important role in every Python program. Okay, it is playing an important role in each and every Python program. So basically we can call this functions as what? Named code sections. Okay, so it itself is a small program. We can say like this also. This named code sections, it itself is a small program. So each and every program in the Python is having so many functions blocked inside. So each and every function is having a small codex. So that's called as a small program here. Then what is meant by function calling? So here we are coming under the term called function calls. So the function call is meant by what? Specifying the names of the function. So we are going to call the function by specifying their name of the function, which we have already defined. Okay. So what is meant by function call? Function call means calling a function by its name. Okay. So if the function call is missing, if the function calling statement is missing in the program, then the function won't work. Okay. Once the program is finished, once you have defined all the functions and the statements are finished, then finally you have to call the functions to execute that function. That means to execute that program itself. So if you have forgot to call the function now, then you have to call it. So this is called as a function call. So by using the function name, we are calling the function. So we are having two types of functions in Python. So one is inbuilt function and another one is user-defined function. So we are having so many inbuilt function in Python. So I have given only 3 here. We have many inbuilt functions in Python interpreter. So they are already inbuilt in Python interpreter. So we can use it whenever we need it. So in the inbuilt functions are used whenever we need it. We need it in the program. Example, we are having print function, read function, write function. Still we are having input function. All these functions are inbuilt in Python itself. The second type is the user-defined function. So this user-defined function is defined by the user. So we are the user and we are giving the names to our program. That means we are giving the names to our functions in the program. So user-defined function should start with a keyword called def. So I have explained that, I have already said you that def is a keyword in Python which is used to define the user-defined functions. So the def is a keyword. So we are using that for user-defined functions. So when we are going to create our own program by using this user-defined function, first of all you should write the keyword called def and you should start with the function name. We can write our own function name of our choice. So the next topic is block and indentation. So this block and the indentation part is very important when coming to Python programming. So each and every part of these components is together to form a bare bones in Python. So each and everything is very important. Okay. So indentation. So indentation is a way of representing the code in the program. So the way we are representing our code in the program. So basically indentation means the space which is given for each and every block of the code. Okay. See here, for example, we are having the if block here. If block, if c less than 50, we are giving the colon here. Once the colon is encountered in Python, okay, so the next line which is to be immediate is starting up with the indentation level. So the indentation is nothing but you have to leave some space on the left hand side of the code. That means you have to leave some space here. So that space here is called as what? Indentation. So why this space is given? Why this indentation is provided in Python? So it is for what? Better readability and for better understanding purpose. Okay. So by seeing the program itself, we can say if the good program has to be built, it should be seen very clearly. Okay, while reading the program itself, we have to be clear in that in which function which statements are residing. So by using this indentation method, we can able to see it clearly. So which statements are under the which blocks. So if you are not following the indentation rule in Python, then what happens? So it leads to an error. Okay, the Python interpreter will not execute your program. So the indentation is very important. The next one is a block. Block is nothing but the number of statements. So number of statements, or you can say it as number of code inside your program. So block is a piece of code that executes as a unit. Okay. So in Python, the block refers to a group of statements that are executed together. For example, if we are having if block, if condition, and we are giving the colon, and we are starting that with the indentation level. So it should be on the same indentation level. So together this is getting executed, right? So this is a block. So this is a group of statements here. What I have given here is an example. And if it is executed together, then it is called as a block. Okay, together it is called as a block, and we can name our block as if block. Okay, so blocks are defined by their indentation level, which is fundamental aspect of Python syntax. So the one important thing is you should follow the indentation level, and secondly you should follow the Python syntax rules. Okay, so the next point, each block of the code is indented by the same number of spaces. The same number of spaces should be there. So as I have given here, so all the lines, all the statements here are indented to the same level. But if we have written one inside and one outside, so if it is so, then Python interpreter will mark it as an error. Okay, so indentation is the crucial in Python, as it indicates a block of code which is used to define the body of the loops, functions, and conditionals and other constructs. So this indentation is playing an important role in all these things. Okay, so see here, this is your block 1, this is your block 2, and this is your block 3. So all these are indented line by line. So block 1 is the top level, and the second level is block 2, and the third level is block 3. And each block will be having some statements, so which will be residing inside. So these are intended to the same level of the program. So we are having some examples in blocks for what? The Python. So for if statement, we are having for, loop, function, definition. For if condition, the first example, if condition, this is a block. This is the hashtag. This is your comments. This won't execute in the program. So statement 1 and statement 2 are having the same indentation level. So this is the if condition. So here we are having some indentation here. So this is called as a indentation under the block. So together it forms a block. For loop, for I in range of 5. So after that we are having the print statement. So this is the indentation level, and together this is forming a block of statements. So the third example is for function definition. So I have already said you the function definition should start with the keyword def. So you should write small d, small a, and small a. Okay, they will be asking you to choose the correct answer. That means in the objective type questions they will be asking you, so what is a keyword which is used to define user-defined function? They will be giving you the options to confuse you. They will be writing like capital DEF, so small def, or else they will be asking capital D, capital E, and capital F. So you should mark with the second one. So all the cases for this def should be in the small case letter. So statement 1 and statement 2, so together forms the function definition block. So in each of these examples, the intended lines following the colon are the part of a block of code. So wherever this colon encounters, then this refers to what? This refers to a block of the code. Understand? So the indentation level determines the grouping of statements, making it clear with the statement belong to which statements belongs to which block. So by seeing this indentation level, we can see that which statement is belonging to which block. Okay, so far we have saw the components of Python, that means the bare bones of a Python. Hope you all clear in this topic very well. So in the next classes, we are going to see some other interesting and important Python revision 2 topics. Until then, study well and thank you.